Daily Words of God.
Gaining knowledge of practicality and a thorough understanding of God's work, these are both seen in His words, and it is only through these utterances that you can gain enlightenment. You therefore should do more to equip yourself with God's words. Communicate your understanding of God's words in fellowship, and in this way, you can enlighten others and give them a way out. This is a practical path. Before God arranges an environment for you, you each must first equip yourself with His words. This is something that everyone should do. It is an urgent priority. First, reach a point where you know how to eat and drink of God's Word. For anything that you are unable to do, search His words for a path of practice, and scan these utterances for any issues you do not understand, or any difficulties you might have. Make God's words your supply, and allow them to assist you in resolving your practical difficulties and problems. Also allow His words to become your help in life. These things will require effort on your part. In eating and drinking of God's Word, you must achieve results. You must be able to quiet your heart before Him, and you must practice in accordance with His utterances whenever you encounter any issues. When you have not encountered any issues, you should just concern yourself with eating and drinking of His Word. Sometimes you may pray and contemplate God's love. Share in fellowship your understanding of His words, and communicate about the enlightenment and illumination you experience within yourself, and the reactions you have had while reading these utterances. Moreover, you can give people a way out. Only this is practical. The goal of doing this is to allow God's words to become your practical supply. Over the course of a day, how many hours do you spend in which you are genuinely before God? How much of your day is actually given to God? How much is given to the flesh? Having one's heart always oriented toward God is the first step to being on the right track of being perfected by Him. If you can devote your heart, body, and all of your genuine love to God, place them before Him, be completely obedient toward Him, and be absolutely considerate of His will, not for the flesh, not for the family, and not for your own personal desires, but for the interests of God's household, taking God's Word as the principle and foundation in everything. Then by doing so, your intentions and your perspectives will all be in the right place, and you will then be a person before God who receives His praise. The people God likes are those who are absolute toward Him. They are the ones who can be devoted solely to Him. Those whom God loathes are the ones who are half-hearted toward Him and who rebel against Him. He loathes those who believe in Him and always want to enjoy Him, while yet being unable to completely expend themselves for His sake. He loathes those who say they love Him, but who rebel against Him in their hearts. He loathes those who use eloquent, flowery words to engage in deception. those who are not genuinely dedicated to God, or who have not truly submitted before Him, are treacherous and overly arrogant by nature. Those who cannot be genuinely submissive in front of the normal, practical God are even more arrogant, and they especially are the dutiful progeny of the archangel. People who truly expend themselves for God lay out their entire being before Him. They genuinely submit to all of His utterances and are able to put His words into practice. They make God's words the foundation of their existence, and they are able to search earnestly within God's words to find out which parts to practice. Such are people who truly live before God. If what you do is beneficial for your life, and through the eating and drinking of His words, you can meet your inner needs and inadequacies so that your life disposition is transformed, then this will satisfy God's will. If you act in accordance with God's requirements, and if you do not satisfy the flesh, but instead satisfy His will, then in this you will have entered the reality of His words. When talking about entering the reality of God's words more realistically, it means you can perform your duty and meet God's requirements. Only these sorts of practical actions can be called entering the reality of His words. If you are able to enter this reality, then you will possess the truth. This is the beginning of entering reality. You must first undertake this training, and only then will you be able to enter even deeper realities. Consider how to keep the commandments and how to be loyal in front of God. Do not constantly think about when you will be able to enter the kingdom. If your disposition does not change, then whatever you think of will be useless. To enter the reality of God's words, you must first get to where all of your ideas and thoughts are for God. This is the barest necessity.